See me and all my family. Don't buy the bullshit you're talking about. Stop hating on the next man, get up. Most talk tough, but ain't no killers. To my little man, ain't no man realer. Cause Papa make sure that he always eat dinner. They shooting for the paper. He don't change for a little bit of change. Wave to them haters. Hi hater, mad they bitches love me like vibrators. Been sick since pushed through labor. Spent chips like I never ever planned for later. Stop worrying and counting the next man money. Fucking calculators. Flow classic.
Welcome to the 2 a.m. crew. I am one of your hosts, Hierro.
And I am Jason Enrique. Yes, indeed.
And here we are with another episode of the 2 a.m. crew. Before we begin, Jason, how are you doing, my brother? And how have you been?
I'm going to be honest with you, man. I'm always going to be transparent with you and the audience. Things are a little tough right now in my personal life. Today is actually a significant day, which I won't get into right now because it's a little too morbid. I'm actually going to share that with after we finish. But forget about me. I hope everybody else is doing well. And I hope everybody continues to keep on living their life because unfortunately it's not happening as a New York fan of any team right now.
Oh my God. Let's see if we could have some fun today with what do you want to? We both had awful weekends when it comes to our fandomhood. Let's start with the Jets. At least I had to in some parts of the game that I got to enjoy, and I was all in. I did tune in this time. We did get to see Tyrod Taylor.
Yes, we did.
0-7.
0-7. The third time in Jets franchise history. It was under Rich Kotite, it was under Adam Gase, and now it's happening under Aaron Glenn. And those two other names that I mentioned before, that is not the kind of company you want to be a part of.
So we Adam Gase is a name that always comes up in this pod, and I knew from the press conference it wasn't a good hire because exactly.
Ironically, I had tacos for dinner too. So
0-7.
0-7, yes.
Can I also say Bryce Young's record on the road? I think it's 1-15, 1-16, something like that. So it was a winnable game for the Jets.
It certainly was. If we actually had a competent quarterback and a competent head coach and a competent offensive coordinator, because I feel like. And also, let's not forget, Garrett Wilson was out of this game. But even if he was in this, I don't know of how much of a factor he would have made. I mean, let's be honest, bro. The only two reliable players on the entire staff, on the entire team right now, is the punter and the kicker, Nick Folk. Because right now, those are the only ones that are able to score points on the offense and defense. Because defense, we still don't have any takeaways. We can't. Every time we do take a turnover, we don't turn it into anything. We're not doing any favors for the offense or defense. It's not complimentary football at all. And then again, we spoke about this last week with Mello, I believe. To me, what bothers me the most is not the fact that they're losing, because I don't want to lose, but it's the way that they're losing. Is that they embarrass themselves on a weekly basis. They're always doing dumb penalties, poor clock management. Second week in a row where we had the ball at the last minute of the first half, and we decided to do nothing with it. So and Aaron Glenn just keeps coming up with the excuses. And then we have Woody Johnson open up his big, fat, ugly mouth earlier today talking about Justin Fields and Aaron Glenn. So it's a mess right now, man. It's not fun to be a New York Jets fan. I can't really say it ever has been since maybe the Rex era. But, yeah, bad times. And I know some fellow Jet fans that were a fan of this team way longer before I was born, and they even say that this is probably the rock bottom that they've ever felt with this franchise.
I mean, when you got Quinn Williams and some of the defensive bright spots and stars of the Jets already kind of to start the conversation of wanting to get out of there. The score was 13-6. That's 2 weeks in a row that the defense has allowed less than, I'm gonna say 15 points. I don't remember
Correct.
the Denver score.
No, you're right. You're right.
So that's a positive sign for you guys as far as the defense. But I'm already looking at it. 11 carries for Breece Hall is not going to get it done.
No.
Especially, I'm sorry to interrupt you, Jason. Go ahead.
You're good. I was just going to say that this just screams that they're trying to keep him in bubble wrap so they could possibly trade him at the deadline.
I mean, Breece, 11 carries for 38 yards. You don't have Garrett Wilson. What do you want to do? You want to control the clock. You want to get – we've said it before, 20 touches from Breece Hall gets you close to a victory. And he's going to get you points, he's going to get you yards. You're going to control the clock. Taylor or Fields, whoever's in there is going to be able to manage the game. Why are they continually doing this? And now at 0-7, so it's not when are they going to win a game? Now it's what pieces are you going to shop or sell or get rid of?
Right, yeah.
I think the locker room is completely gone already.
Yep.
You signed Sauce and Garrett, and I don't think they want to be Jets. This is a lot of losing, a lot of losing for these young players.
Yeah, especially since they came from organizations where they used to win in college.
Yeah, so I mean, I don't know. I mean, the lone bright spot is the defense again, but you played the Panthers. Like, it's not really something to brag about.
No, they're not. It by any stretch of the imagination.
Yeah, I mean, they are 4-3, but yeah, you held the Panthers to 13 points. Congratulations. This looks like a baseball score, 13-6.
Yeah.
I really feel bad for. I thought me being a Mets fan and a Knicks fan, and a Knicks fan that suffered through the 2010s and stuff like that, and the 2000s, it couldn't get any possibly worse as far as franchises that I root for. But
right.
And how many years? 16 years without going?
15 years. This will be our 15th year, most likely going into our 16th year next year. The last time we made the playoffs is that the championship game against the Pittsburgh Steelers, where they won that game and went to the Super Bowl, and we were poised to try to make another playoff run, and then Victor Cruz hits that 99-yard touchdown, and we haven't been able to recover since. Victor Cruz isn't even in the league anymore. The last time the New York Jets were in the playoffs, Obama was still in office.
Wow. What can I say? There's nothing you could tell a Jet fan right now. I hope that, and we had this conversation with Hugo, like, you got to live and die with your team. And is there, you said it on the last episode, well, what you got to look forward to right now is getting that first pick, which they already have the tank season standings going up already.
Correct.
But do you trust this regime to draft a good pick with that number one pick?
Excuse my language, but absolutely fucking not. Because these guys have not shown me any reason why they could they could pick the right guys and develop them. Because all of the bright spots as far as players are concerned, they came from the previous regime. Quinnen Williams has been here since the Mac McCagnon era. He's the oldest. I think he's the longest tenured Jet right now. And every other guy like Garrett Wilson, Sauce Gardner, Breece Hall, Jermaine Johnson. Those are Joe Douglas's guys. Darren Muji, the guy that's the general manager now. What has he brought? He brought Justin Fields. He's brought Josh Reynolds. He's brought Brad Stevens. A lot of and a bunch of others that I can't bring up. Maybe McClain, the punter that he got, was the only thing that he did right. So I don't know. I don't trust this regime. And here's the thing: it seems like they're already tanking without trying to say that they're tanking so that they won't piss off their fan base even more. And they're just doing it either that or it's just a mixture of incompetence. I don't know. And I think that all of this is even going worse due to the fact that Aaron Glenn is boasting his chest like he's won something. The guy literally has not won a game as a head coach in the NFL, and he's talking like he's Bill Parcells Jr. And it drives me crazy when he goes to these press conferences when he's talking to the media. He's like, "Well, I talked to Bill Parcells the other day. Oh yeah, what did it happen? Nothing. You still haven't won a game. Maybe you should go talk to Rich Kotite and reverse the karma and actually win a goddamn game for once."
Oh my God! A lot of coaches talk to Bill. Sean Payton obviously talked to Bill.
Exactly,
We'll get to Sean Payton and the Broncos against the Giants. It was 13-11, the Broncos Jets score. So I'm looking at the schedule now, and where is this victory? You and I went over the schedule, and I think I had the Jets at 6-7 victories this year.
Yeah, you did.
I'm looking at this Bengals game, which I thought, when Burrow went down, I thought it was going to be a win, but now
with Joe Flacco,
here comes Flacco into town. Realistically, this Browns game, and I think that's one of these games where you think, just like this Panthers game, you think you're going to go in there and get a victory, and that Browns defense is pretty good. So where's the Saints aren't as bad as people think. I don't see a victory. Other than the Miami games, I don't see a victory here for the Jets.
Because here's the thing. When it comes to those other bad teams that you mentioned, even though they've been losing games, at least they know how to put up points on the board. So that's the problem with the Jets. They haven't been able to put points. Miami, as bad as they are, even though they didn't score a touchdown last game, even in some of the games that they lost, they were able to put up points on the board. These guys don't know how to score touchdowns. Justin Fields isn't being used properly because even though I think he's a bust and he's clearly not the quarterback for New York, he's not even an NFL starting caliber quarterback. I also have to put the blame on the coaches because one of the things that bothers me about the Jets coaches, not just with this regime, but they've done it in other regimes as well, is that they get these players, really solid players, and any other competent organization would develop their game plan surrounded around the players' talents, whereas they get these players and they'd be like, no, you're going to run our system. You're going to do things the way that we do, and then it goes kaput. That's why the players that come to this team don't succeed as much as they do in other locations.
And what do we tell these Jets fans to hold on to right now? Like, what? I'm going to be honest with you. I was in a very similar situation last season with the Giants. I'm still disappointed that we brought back Dable and Shane. Although I think Coach Dable, he's a good coach.
He is. To me, he kind of reminds me of Josh McDaniels, where he's probably not a good head coach, but he's an amazing offensive coordinator.
Yeah, Coach Stable's a good guy to have around. I just don't know if this is the right situation for him. But doing what Mara did, where he brought them back on a 1-year deal where they had to prove themselves, and now they're going to run Dart and Scatterboo to the ground, because they're going to try to get some wins. They're going to try to show, hey, we have improved. Last year, I want, like I said this in the last episode, I wanted to lose every single game. I wanted the first pick so badly. And I ended up getting Abdul Carter. And now we have an interior. We have a defensive line who could get to the quarterback, which if you look at the formula from the 2 Super Bowl championships that the Giants have had, you have to have a great pass rush and great pressure, and you got to have decent corners and decent safeties. We got our secondary went down in the last game. That's part of the reason why the Broncos started to put up some points. But at least I could look at my roster and say, okay, I got Thibodeau, I have Dexter Lawrence, I have Brian Burns, I have Abdul Carter. We got something on that side. We need to get more, and I love Bobby Okereke. We need to get more on the secondary. We need to get safeties and better corners. and I feel like we do have our quarterback of the future. I believe in Cam Scatterboo. I
do
believe in
that too, yeah.
some of the pieces that we have. Now, do I want these players to play for this coaching? I mean, if we had Wink Martindale with this defense and that line,
Mhm.
Giants defense would be top 10 in the NFL.
Correct.
There's just certain guys that they're mad scientists. It happened with Spags.
Yeah.
When you have a front four that you could just rush four and drop everybody else back, it makes things a lot easier. And Carter and Burns are getting there, and Burns has had 2 sacks in each of the last 2 games.
Right.
You're starting to see some of the frustrations, but some of the calls, those are play calls, and the decision to drop 8 or 9 in coverage in the fourth quarter. I just don't understand it. Bo Nix didn't know where he was for the first 3 quarters.
Yeah.
So is there something that the Jets can some hope in that roster or in that building? I mean, I'm not a fan of John Mara.
Right.
Not by the stretch.
Okay.
And I'm not a fan. I can't stand Woody Johnson. Besides, because we can't get rid of the owners, is there something that you can hang your hat on with that organization?
Honestly, no. And I want to take this opportunity to give a message to all of my fellow Jet fans. I actually have a plan, and I pictured this in my head, and I want to share it with you and the rest of the audience, specifically Jet fans, to see if this is actually working. You might laugh at it, but I think even in comedy, in humor, I think it's still a legitimate plan. So the only way that you could really screw up or get the attention, rather, of billionaires is to screw up with their money. Look what happened with Jimmy Kimmel when he got fired, and then they brought him back when they lost billions of dollars from Hulu and Disney and ABC. So you got to affect Woody Johnson where it hurts him the most, his pockets. So to all of my Jet fans, this is what I suggest. This is what I'm proposing. Next year, or even this year if you can, do not go to MetLife Stadium at all. Sell your tickets and do whatever you can and make sure that the place is empty as possible. And then for those that buy season tickets every single year, don't buy them. Don't buy them at all. Instead, buy the New York Giants season tickets and then sell those to other Giant fans so they could pack the MetLife Stadium every single game when the Giants are playing, and there's nobody going to be when the Jets are playing. That way, not only is Woody Johnson affected with his wallet, but he's also going to be embarrassed that the Giants are actually fans are standing up more for their team than the Jets are, because one thing we also know about Woody, besides his money, is that he also wants to look good in front of his peers and the community and the fans. And one of the examples that I have is when the New York Giants won the Super Bowl last in 2011. Woody Johnson was so embarrassed that his team was secondary little brother all over again that he went out of his way to go get Tim Tebow just so they can get relevance again. So do me a favor, affect Woody Johnson's pockets and his ego in order for him to finally wake up and smell the coffee. And that way the New York Giants fans will win, and then eventually the New York Jets fans will win. I don't know if this sounds silly, but desperate times call for desperate measures.
I mean, he did raise the ticket prices for this year.
Exactly.
But I feel terrible for season ticket holders because
the way that I see it, you sacrifice 1 year of mediocrity and also hurting Woody Johnson's pockets to get a better investment in the long run. Besides, you guys are not getting anything. You're not getting your money's worth with the product that they're putting on the football field right now.
No, you're not, and I think it's a similar tactic that I always implored the New York Mets to do when the Wilpons were owners. The thing with Jets and Mets fans is they're real passionate fans. I'm not taking a dig at any of the other organizations.
I get it. No, I hear you.
You got to deal with a lot of heartbreak when you're a fan of these two orgs. And for us Met fans, for a really long time, the Wilpons, I mean, they lost so much money in the Ponzi scheme with
Bernie Madoff.
Bernie Madoff. I just couldn't take it anymore. I was like, we need to do something where the MLB helps the Mets, like, or forces them to sell. And before Cohen bought it, I heard when A-Rod and J-Lo were together, A-Rod was interested in buying the team, and I was like, this is what we need. We need somebody else. We need new juice, new blood, something different. And thank God we finally got that. I'm not certain, and NFL owners is a lot harder to own an NFL franchise.
Yeah.
But I think Jet fans need to start a blog or something where they all connect, because all Mets fans know each other, which is very interesting. We all know each other on social
we already
media.
have this. Believe it or not, we do have a Jets community on the internet already, and I've actually been on a couple of them podcasts and likewise. So there is a huge fan base and a community out there of Jet fans, and I feel like I know a great portion of them, and even the more popular ones that have been like, I actually have Iron Staten Island's phone number in my phone. So I was like, there is a community out there. I even have Jake Asman's number. So it needs to. It really, at the end of the day, man, the only way that Woody Johnson is going to show any semblance of moving, moving the goalposts or whatever, you got to affect his pockets, man. Because at the end of the day, let's be honest, Woody Johnson is not a football guy. He's just a simple billionaire who owns a football team because that's what billionaires do. And as much as you don't care for John Mara, and as much as we can't stand Jerry Jones, at least they know more semblance of football in their little pinky than Christopher and Woody Johnson.
Jerry Jones plays college football.
Exactly. At least he knows that.
Wellington Mara was a serious.
Woody Johnson wasn't even a water boy.
Yeah, I mean, Ambassador Johnson. I don't know. I mean, what do you think does it for Jets fans that they finally say we've had enough? Do you think it's a 0-17 season, 0-17 season? Jet fans are already calling in saying, "Hey, if seeing how trash this team is, Woody needs to not raise the ticket prices and leave the PSA as is, or even deduce for next season." So, what do you think is going to be the straw that breaks the camel's back?
Just stop buying PSLs. Stop going to the games. Stop buying merchandise of the New York Jets. Again, man, Woody Johnson, he's a billionaire. The only way he knows how to make moves is if his money is screwed. Like if his money is affected, if his wallet is going to be affected, that's the only way, because he's been able to do everything and anything under the sun to try to improve his team, quote unquote, and then he still raises ticket prices. So that, to me, right there is just the evidence that, okay, you want to raise ticket prices for the product that you're putting out on the field. All right, we're not buying. So we have to pivot as far as that's concerned.
Well, I mean, Jets fans, I'll give you this, right? The NFL has your back as well. Woody Johnson owns a team that's in a major market for the NFL. And if the Jets start losing money and attendance drops, the NFL could step in and say, "Hey, Woody, you got to do something."
So, you remember the one that happened with the Giants, and then they got George Young?
No. Refresh my memory.
So there was a time where the New York Giants were so putrid that there were stories that they would go to Giant Stadium in the parking lots and they would actually burn their tickets and wouldn't even go into the stadium. And the NFL got so behind this because this was such a huge story at the time. You probably didn't hear of it because there was no internet at the time, but this was going on, that the NFL had to step in, especially since this is one of their premier prestige franchises, and they ended up hiring George Young, and then the rest is history. He hires Bill Parcells, and the rest is history.
So it's gonna take something for the Jets fans to unite and do that, because as much and as terrible as this team is, people are still going to the games. People are still tailgating.
Yeah,
Woody Johnson's still making money.
Honestly, I don't know why any Long Islander would ever want to come all the way to MetLife Stadium for that direct that they put on the field. Better, I'm telling you, I'm imploring all Jets fans, especially with next year, but earlier this year if you can, do not go to the games, sell your tickets, get rid of them. Don't pack the seats. Don't even buy Jets gear. If you want to watch the team and hopefully they can get a win, you can watch them on TV. That's fine. Or don't just be like me. I'm just gonna go apple picking going forward for the rest of the season. So, but whatever you have to do, just don't put any more dollars into Woody Johnson's pockets. And it's also going to affect the NFL, like you said. Just don't buy the product. Simple as that.
I also felt this way about the Knicks, and I always wanted Dolan to sell the Knicks, but he figured it out. And I think, hey, Woody Johnson, give James Dolan a phone call.
Yeah, well, James Dolan's lucky because he owns Madison Square Garden, which is not only the home of the Knicks, but it is a New York City institution. It is a landmark. So you have people that are that are tourists or celebrities that will come, not even caring about the game, not even caring about the Knicks, but they're showing up because that's what celebrities and tourists do. So they're never going to lose money on that front. And but you know what, Woody Johnson, this isn't even his stadium. As much as they own 50% of it, it's still technically Giants Stadium.
I mean, Woody Johnson, give him a call. Yes, James Dolan was distracted with the Sphere in Vegas, and that's why he hired Leon Rose, and he let Woody. You need to pick good football people, let them run the team, and get the hell out of the way. And not just, it's not going to happen overnight.
No,
it's not going to happen overnight. Give him 2-3 seasons. Jets fans, they suffered. They can wait as long as they see progress and get the hell out of the way.
Yeah. By the way, are you aware that Woody Johnson is also approaching a soccer team?
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
What soccer team?
Crystal Palace Football Club. It's a Premier League soccer team.
Good luck to those people.
Yeah. Yeah. It says here, Jets owner Woody Johnson.
Ambassador Johnson. His name is Robert Wood Johnson.
Yeah, but, you know.
Why the Woody? I prefer people to call me Robert instead of Woody.
I don't know, because he's a stiff.
I mean, we're talking about the guy that made money off skincare and pharmaceutical products. Man doesn't have a soul, so.
No. Diddy was his best customer. Diddy bought more baby oil than he could put Woody Johnson could put butts in MetLife, seats in MetLife. That's
hysterical, man.
Yeah, but
I feel so bad for Jets fans because I've been there with the Knicks and the Mets.
Yeah, well, I'm glad that you feel some kind of sympathy for us because, and we can actually shift over to the Giants now because when people are when Giants fans specifically are like, man, this is such a miserable time. It's a rough time to be a Giants fan. We're the worst of them. Shut up. Okay,
that was me, Jason.
I think things are not. I know that things are not great in Giant Land right now, but come on, you guys have had more success than we could ever count as Jets fans. All right, so you will never see me shedding any tears for Giants fans. Okay, ever.
I mean, I cannot. So when we lost the game, I was not mad. I wasn't pissed off. I wasn't frustrated.
I was shocked.
I was shocked. I enjoyed the game. If I wasn't a Giants fan, I'd be like, "Oh, that was a crazy game to watch."
Right. That's how I felt. You know, like I was shocked. Yeah, but at the same time, I think you guys are going to be okay because I really truly believe in your.
They're on to something now. They're on to something. The interception was a bad play call. They should have ran the ball there. I think it was like 3rd and 4.
It was, yeah.
There was several play calls. We don't have a kicker in this day and age in the NFL. You have to have a good kicker because the field, just is field like positioning. Like
your kicker was a backup at Rutgers.
Yeah, so this in this day and age, you need a kicker. I know people make fun of them, but you need one.
I think kickers need to get their respect now because a lot of them are like 61-yarders or chip shots now. It's crazy what you're seeing in the league with kickers all around.
The Cowboys kicker is pretty damn good.
Yeah.
I feel like, come on, the kicker is part of the game, man. We need a kicker. The play calling, like I said, Wink Martindale could do more with this defense, and coaching does make a difference.
Absolutely.
After I had my day of processing that game, because I was on the ultimate high. I was like, man, if we win this game 14-7, I knew we were not going to shut out the Broncos. We win this game 14-7 or 19-7 or 19-10. Wow, what a victory, right?
Right.
And even when they came back and they took the lead, the Giants still scored again. I believe in my quarterback. And I expect him to make mistakes. So when the interception happened, I was like, yeah, this is his season to make those mistakes and those errors.
I agree. And also, and I'm sorry to cut you off, but
no, go ahead.
I think a lot of guys believe in your quarterback, as you should, but there's still a lot of question marks around the coach, which in year 5, you shouldn't have these kind of questions. If you don't know what you have in your coach, then you don't have a coach. So I feel that if the Giants, they're in a very good position right now where at the end of the season, they'll let go of Brian Dable or Shane. And then any head coach that's looking, any person that's looking to be a head coach in this league, they're going to have Jackson Dart that they're going to want to chomp at the bit in order to develop and work with this kid.
But Giants need first of all, if you get a rookie head coach, you need a seasoned OC. We need a very good OC. The defensive coordinator, I'm very interested to see who it is we bring in. Because I think this defense is better than what people think. There are a couple players on the secondary away from being a good defense. The play calling has been horrendous, but what coach is out there for who's gonna be that spark? This obviously is not gonna be like oh my God, Bill Parcells is coming back. There's no sexy hire out there, right? There's no Sean McVay's leaving and he's going somewhere else, or Shanahan's going somewhere else. Who is that guy?
And I don't think Giants at this point.
No, I mean, if he was single, yeah, maybe. But it's been his dream. And I would take Coach Belichick if he was just a coach. But Belichick wants to be part GM as well.
Yeah. How about this?
Who's the coach?
How about this? What if would you give Cliff Kingsbury, the OC for Washington, another shot? Because he has been a head coach in this league before, and usually coaches that get a second chance usually learn from their mistakes. And we all know that Cliff Kingsbury knows offense, and I think that him using the skills of Jackson Dart and Cam Scatterbo, along with some other pieces that they could possibly draft, and he's already in the division, I don't think it's a bad pickup.
I mean, I'm looking more of I really need a offensive-minded head coach with a really good defensive coordinator.
Yeah.
And I think letting Wink go was a huge mistake.
Yeah.
I think if we had Wink Martindale and a head coach right now, I mean, but there is who is out there? The coach for the Marlins. Oh my God, might as well be the Marlins.
Might as well, yeah.
McDaniel's gonna be gone, right?
Yeah.
Who's out there? And it's got to be. I feel like this time around, it has to be an offense. You know who'd be perfect if we could go back in time and hire 50, 60-year-old Tom Coughlin to be the coach of this Giant. Because discipline is something that they would need, but I give Coach Coughlin a position in the front office, and I trust him to pick the right head coach, the right president of football operations, the right GM, and he's got 2 Super Bowls, so why not trust Coughlin? And I think if they would have never got rid of Odell, Coughlin was getting to him and there was a maturity factor with Odell, which
Yeah.
I'm bringing up Odell because it's the same thing with Neighbors. I think Neighbors has a maturity factor. Um, Odell would have grown up much sooner.
Yeah. And the moment was just too big for him.
Yeah, I just we have two guys. We have Dart. We have Scatterboo. And look at these tight ends. They're looking amazing with this score. He's throwing, and give Wendell Robinson, put some respect on Robinson's name. He's making some tough catches out there. We just don't have a plus receiver. So that even gives Dart more of credit for doing what he's doing with this receiving core. I just beyond. If I'm the Giants, I give Dable I get a GM that Dable knows and works with, and I try with Dable for a little bit, but I get Dable a seasoned defensive coach or defensive coordinator. And I think if thing doesn't work out with Baltimore, which Harbaugh is going to be in Baltimore forever, but what are the names that are available at this point in time?
So I actually have a list here of potential head coaching candidates, and let me see if they interest you. And this is offensive minded, first and foremost.
Okay.
All right. So this one is inactive former head coaches that are available right now. Mike McCarthy.
Absolutely not.
John Gruden.
That John's a name that's interesting.
Okay.
Because he's in love with Dart, so it's interesting.
Yeah. Joe Brady, who is the offensive coordinator for the Buffalo Bills.
We would have to see more from him. I mean, he's the OC. I feel defensive coordinators translate to head coaches a lot better than OCs do. Shanahan was an exception, and so was McVay.
Well, there's one defensive head coach that I would have picked, and I actually still want, since I never was a fan of Glenn, and we talked about this before. I would have taken Brian Flores.
Oh, yeah.
There's also Todd Monken from the Baltimore Ravens. There's Cliff Kingsbury, like I mentioned before. John Morton from the Detroit Lions. I would say stay away from him because he was our offensive coordinator when Josh McCown was our quarterback in 2017. Ironically, Josh McCown is a head coaching candidate because he's the quarterback's coach for the Minnesota Vikings. And then you also have Josh Grizzard, who is the OC for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, which their offense is stout. And then there's Clint Kubiak for the Seattle Seahawks. And look at the job that he's done with Sam Darnold and Smith and Jigba and all of them. And then you have also Arthur Smith, but we all know how that ended up in Atlanta.
The Seahawks coaches are interesting.
Yeah. And then also, I don't know if you guys would do this, but it would be one of the most Jetsian thing that a Giants team can do. Just fire Brian Dable and promote Mike Kafka.
Not a fan of Kafka. I am interested in. I mentioned Spags before. I don't know. He was a head coach with the Rams. I'm not sure if Spags is interested in being a head coach anymore.
I don't think he has what it takes to be a head coach. I mean, there's people that are offensive-minded coaches or defensive-minded coordinators, whatever, and then they are head coaches. I think that Spags has shown that he is more than capable of being one of the greatest defensive coaches of all time. I think the head coach is – because look at the job he did in St. Louis at the time. It was horrendous.
Yeah. So you mentioned Belichick. That Belichick and Gruden do interest me, the Seahawks coaches. But it's got to be somebody, or maybe like a college coach. I don't see a college coach at this point in time.
Yeah. I just know for me, and sorry for bringing it back to the Jets.
No, go ahead.
I feel like, and bar none, I don't know if Aaron Glenn's going to get fired after this year or in the next couple of years or whatever. I just know that whoever is going to take place of Aaron Glenn's place, they have to be a head coach that has done it before, whether in college, but preferably in the NFL. And I don't know who that guy is. I mean, I mentioned Brian Flores already, but they cannot bring a first-time defensive or offensive coordinator like they did the last couple of years because it clearly has not worked out.
No, I agree with you. I don't think it has. So we'll see. I mean, was it a heartbreaker? It was a game that 3 quarters you're dominating the game and 33-32. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
How do you lose that? I'm very interested to see how they answer back. I'm interested to see how Dart specifically comes out in the next game and how he responds to that loss. I'm very concerned about Cam Scatterbo, just the way he plays the game and he runs.
Yeah, man, he's a walking concussion.
Yeah, it's we play the Eagles at 1. We'll see. I'm pretty sure the Eagles are not happy we beat them 34-17. So it's going to be a tough game to watch. It's a good 1 o'clock game to watch.
Yeah, I think the Eagles are going to have a chip on their shoulder with this game.
And hopefully
they got embarrassed by the Giants on national TV, and that was like the Scatterbo and Dart homecoming game. So you know that the Eagles are going to be motivated. And especially they're clawing their way into the division. I mean, Brandon Graham just came out of retirement and started with the team again. Cowboys offense is looking amazing right now, even though their defense is completely trash. So right now it's a race between the Cowboys and the Eagles.
The Giants could very, very easily be 4-3 right now.
They could, yeah. And you know, I actually want to ask you this because somebody on the radio said it. They say that one of the biggest flaws of Brian Daboll as a head coach is that he doesn't know how to close out games.
I think I heard that take, and it seems like a problem for him.
Yeah,
for the last couple of years.
This is not the first time we've seen a game like this. I mean, nothing this embarrassing, nothing that heartbreaking, but there has been moments where the Giants, where they take their foot off the gas or whatever, and then afterwards they ended up losing.
He does not know how to manage the clock, and that's very concerning.
Yeah,
I mean, you're going into the fourth quarter, right? What's the recipe if you're up 19-0? Well, you run the ball. Very limited on throws. You run the ball. No matter, you throw it when you need to get that first down, but you run the ball all day long. You even let Jackson Dart run the ball, run a couple plays when it's there for him.
Yep.
It's concerning that it's been this year, last year, and the year before. So, yeah. And 19-0, that's a pretty big lead to give up.
I agree.
Broncos scored 33 points in one quarter.
In one quarter.
So
that's just a mixture of good coaching by Sean Payton and horrible mismanagement by Brian Daboll. And maybe, and this is just learning curves when it comes to Jackson Dart. Instead of going for that touchdown, even though I respect it and I love the grittiness of it, I think going forward he should know how to manage the clock a little bit better. Like maybe you should have stopped at the 1 yard line instead of going.
Well, I like I said, this year I'm allowing him to make all the mistakes.
Right, he's good. He should. It's it's
his rookie year, even partial of next season. I know he's going to throw a pick here and there that's going to drive me nuts, but there's certain things that he's doing already about protecting the football. If it's not there, throwing it away, that I'm already comfortable with. But if he throws a pick here or there, I'm going to be okay with it. It's his rookie year. He's going to make these mistakes.
Correct.
So let's move on to the Knicks play tomorrow. Obviously, NBA is I'm currently have the Rockets in the OKC game. Rockets are up 82-79. Are you excited about the NBA season this year?
There's something that's missing. I don't feel the excitement that I did. But I like it, they have to. I want to see how the first couple of games go before I make up my mind because you guys know that I was a huge Tom Thibodeau fan. I did not agree with the firing and how it especially went down. I would have only been happier with it if you guys had a more solid plan, which you clearly didn't. This was, I feel
not.
like this is more ego stroke. And I don't know what Mike Brown is, because like there's a chance that Mike Brown could be very, very good this season, but then afterwards in the next couple of seasons, it's going to go downhill, because that's been his MO as a head coach in this league before. And I'm glad that we still have Brunson. I mean, that guy's a superstar. That's our bait. That's our guy right there. And it all comes down to health. I mean, I want to see this team actually more healthy than they were with Tibbs, because we know that Tibbs like to run these guys to the ground, and then afterwards they run out of the gas towards the end of the year. Maybe Mike Brown could switch up some things and make sure that they're still fresh, good to go when it comes to the playoffs. I think that we're going to be one of the best teams in the East, but until I actually see a championship, which is my expectations this year, because we were 2 games away from the finals last year, there's no reason that we shouldn't go again this year, especially with the East being wide open, with the Milwaukee Bucks not being the way they used to be. Boston lost Tatum for the year. You got Halliburton out for the year. It's right there for us. So I'm sorry. It may sound ridiculous to me, and I see you wincing, but those are my expectations, because apparently the New York organization, Leon Rose and all of them say, hey, we got what it takes to win a championship, but we don't have the right coach here. So they feel like they got the right head coach with a lot of the same pieces that they brought back, and maybe they'll add in some more. Go ahead and prove it. Go ahead.
No, the bench is a lot different. I think Jordan Clarkson was a huge pickup for them. I think the French power forward that was in Philadelphia it's a big improvement for them. It's a wait and see thing with Mike Brown. It could be a stroke of genius, or it could be the worst decision they've made. It's a wait and see situation. Championship. My expectation is an NBA final. Last year,
that's what I meant. I'm sorry. I apologize. I should reiterate myself. I meant.
I mean, OKC is the defending champs, right?
I misspoke. I meant to say I want us to be in the championship. Not
anything besides not being in the finals is a failure to me. So finals is my expectation.
That's
what East is wide open. We play Cleveland tomorrow without Josh Hart and without Mitchell Robinson. He's already discussed Mitch Robinson's situation about. I think he's going to manage the team a lot better, Mike Brown. It's a wait and see situation. He is an X's and O's coach. Yes. He's not going to run them to the ground. I don't know. This could be a recipe for a stroke of genius by Leon Rose, which I've grown not to question anymore. Or it could be a total disaster, but it's a wait and see thing. I do know there's a guy that plays for Milwaukee that only wants to play for one other organization than Milwaukee. Mm-hmm. I do know we are a destination for a lot of the NBA players. Mm-hmm. I do know that we have a core here already established. It's exciting, but I'm going to temper all my expectations, because last year I was like, we got the team that we got what it takes to get there, and we had no bench.
Partially, they had no pitching, and the Knicks don't have a bench.
Yeah, so great dig there. Thank you. I feel that the Cat trade happened right at the beginning of the season. So they got a season with Cat now. They got to figure out how to make Brunson and Cat cohesive. Coexist. You got to figure out how these minutes are going to be distributed, who's going to contribute. But there's a lot of rumors already circling about guys that other teams want. Like Deuce McBride is a name that keeps getting brought up by every other team. Mm-hmm. The Knicks have assets to trade, and they're a destination. But I fully expect a NBA Finals appearance this year from the Knicks. Did you just step on poor Monty?
No, he's trying to play with me, and I think he hit himself.
Oh, okay. But until proven otherwise, OKC is going to be that team. And even though they're losing to the Rockets right now, it could be a championship hangover. OKC's going to be that team for me.
I would not be surprised if the game that's being played right now is what's going to be in the Western Conference Finals.
Who's out west? I mean, there's Golden State.
There's Golden State. There's the Lakers. There's the Clippers. There's
no.
the Nuggets.
Don't mention the Lakers. There's the Nuggets. There's Golden State. There's Houston.
The Nuggets. Dallas.
Dallas is an interesting team this year. We'll see what Cooper Flag does.
Yeah.
The Lakers are not going to go anywhere.
No,
the Lakers.
No. But I was just naming teams on the West.
Yeah. The Lakers won't go anywhere.
I mean, I for all that, I could have said the Portland Trailblazers just because they're on the West. But
yeah, but the Lakers, I guarantee the Lakers don't make the playoffs or they're bounced in the first round.
Yeah. Even with Luka. Yeah. So before we put an end on this episode, we got a World Series.
We do.
It's the Drake versus Kendrick Lamar World Series.
Yeah. So what are you excited about? I mean, I'm excited about the World Series. I think these are two interesting teams. Like, who's your pick?
So I actually believe that the Dodgers are going to take it again. Unfortunately, I think they're going to repeat. However, and you can tell me if I'm a fraud or not, but I am really, really rooting for Donnie Baseball because this is the first time in his 40-plus career in the MLB going to the World Series, and he's one of my top Rushmore, Mount Rushmore of Yankees of all time. I'm extremely happy for him. It sucks that it's with the Toronto Blue Jays, but I don't hate them as much as I hate the Red Sox.
Yankees lose.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I don't know. I'm happy for Don. It's a mixture. Like if he wins, great. But if not, at least he finally got to make it to the World Series finally in his career, and he should be in the Hall of Fame. I don't know why the hell he's not already.
So you're saying Dodgers? How many games?
I will take this down to 6.
Okay, here's my pick. The Dodgers barely won a World Series last year. They ran into a team that did not play defense and choked in the World Series, right?
Right.
And Freddie Freeman was on fire last year.
He was. And I don't know. I also think that Ohtani is going to have a monster series. I mean, look what he just did.
Not convinced.
Really?
Great game. Historic game.
Mm-hmm.
Not convinced. That was the NLCS. You got to do it in the big times, Papi. He disappeared last year in the World Series.
Well, maybe this will be the year that he shakes off the rust. We'll see.
So I believe the bigger chip is on Vladdy Jr.'s shoulders.
Yeah.
I feel like he is a player that is destined to get a ring. And I think that is no coincidence. You mentioned Donnie Baseball, who, by the way, is one of the guys that made me a avid baseball fan. Right? It's wonderful that he's going to get his first World Series experience, but I love the advice he has given Vladdy Jr. Vladdy Jr. is a complete baseball player now. And talk about clutch and not letting the moment get too big. And you know the world's going to be with the underdog Toronto Blue Jays.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I think this is the only battle Drake's going to win. Because I think Toronto's going to take it in 6.
Okay. All right. Listen.
In 6.
It's not an ideal World Series matchup if you're a Yankee fan. But there are some things to root for, and at the end of the day, as cliche and as corny as it sounds, I just want to see a good series because one of the things I love about baseball, just in general, even when it comes to not my team, there's nothing like playoff baseball.
No, because the guy that you least expect, just get like Daniel Murphy got hot in 2015. Nobody, like it's just it raises There's certain guys, man. Giancarlo Stanton has that gene. There's certain guys that they come alive, and I think Vladdy Jr.
Yep.
has come alive, and MVP type numbers in the regular season. But I think he's built for the stage, and I'm looking forward to seeing him produce. And as far as Ohtani, I'm gonna wait and see.
Okay.
He because he's gonna, as a pitcher, he's a good pitcher. You know, what makes him great is that he's a great hitter, along with being a good pitcher. I would love. I can't wait to see the moment where Ohtani's facing Vladdy.
That's going to be
Ohtani's pitching. Ohtani's pitching to him, and I'm telling you, I don't think Vladdy is just cold, man. He's calculated. He's very smart. He's picking his spots. I've never seen a person at the plate, only Juan Soto, know that the pitcher's going to throw that pitch again, and he baits pitchers sometimes.
Yeah,
it's extraordinary. So I'm gonna go with Toronto. I'm gonna go with Toronto in 6 games.
Okay. So when the Dodgers end up winning, I'm gonna play Not Like Us.
I'm not a Drake fan. I'm a Kendrick fan, but
I know. I'm just.
When it comes to the pure baseball, I'm excited about the series. Is the Dodgers? Yes, whatever. The Dodgers are what the Yankees used to be, by the way.
Yeah,
the Dodgers
all the time. Yeah.
So it's the Dodgers, and then it's this scrappy team that puts the bat on the ball. They hit home runs, but they do everything else too. And you can't count them out. So, and look out, New York Yankees, because I think Seattle and Toronto is going to be a while. They're going to be around for a while. Detroit's going to take a step back because Scooble's not going to be in Detroit next season. They're $250 million apart on that contract. So,
I actually expect Scooble to be a New York Met come this upcoming season.
I hope so, from your mouth to God's ears. But Yankees are going to have to worry about Seattle, Toronto,
Seattle,
Detroit, and don't sleep on those Guardians. By the way,
yeah, I agree.
So, my brother,
yes,
that concludes this show. We'll see you guys next Tuesday, same time, same channel.
All right.
Who do the Jets play this weekend?
We play the Bengals.
The Bengals. Okay, so
0-8, loading up, baby. 0-8.
So you're cheering for the 0-8.
I am going to be apple picking. That's what I'm going to be doing.
Would you accept a close game, but they lose at the end?
Well, that's the funny thing. They have been losing close games. It's just the way that they've been losing.
No. Like, they're super competitive. They're in it. Let's say 24-21.
Yeah, because that's exactly what we got with Pittsburgh in week 1. Because even though we lost that game, it was probably the most exciting that we've seen this team, a brand new team, in quite some time. Like, Robert Saleh's teams never got up to that much of a hot start in week 1. And then it just went off the plane.
But don't you wish you guys had Saleh back?
I would take him as our DC. You know, this is gonna be wild. And but call me crazy if you want, but I don't think it's such a bad idea. If the Giants get rid of Brian Daboll, I would not mind to have him as my offensive coordinator to work with whatever quarterback we're going to draft in the draft,
and then keep Glenn in the fold as the head coach.
I mean, he's not my ideal head coach, but if you want to win some games, if you want to stay here, if he wants to be a long-time head coach of the New York Jets,
he needs
might have to make a move like that.
He needs a really good offensive-minded.
Yeah, because when Todd Bowles' first year, one of the things that he did was he hired Chan Gailey as his offensive coordinator. Now, Chan Gailey is not a world beater or whatever, but he has history in the game, and he knew how to work the system with Ryan Fitzpatrick because of what they did in Buffalo. So at least he was a guy that had some skin in the game. Whereas all these other offensive coordinators that we've been hiring ever since then are first-time coordinators, and it hasn't worked out.
If you hire a rookie manager, you need a seasoned bench coach, or you need a seasoned OC or DC.
Yeah, I agree.
So, do you have any parting words for our audience today, Jason?
Yeah, I just want to say really quick, ladies and gentlemen, just be kind to one another, because you never know who's facing a battle that they are not able to talk about. So just be kind and be nice, and just try to be a positive person all the way around.
And my parting words for today, it's to my co-host, Jason. You have Aaron Judge on your New York Yankees. The Knicks season is starting up. Hopefully they fire Cashman and Boone. Who knows? Do not worry about your New York Jets at this point. Turn the page to the basketball season, which is now here. And let's watch some glorious games, my brother.
Yeah. And the Devils are off to a good start, so I got that too.
Oh, my God. You're a Devils fan? Jesus Christ, dude. There's nothing only the Knicks. That's all we see.
All we got.
All right. If you were a Brooklyn Nets fan, this would be I mean, do those exist?
I'm crazy, not psychotic.
Till next time. We'll see you guys next Tuesday. Same time, same channel. Love you guys.
Yes.
I'm getting it back. See me and all my family. Don't buy the bullshit you're talking about. Stop hating on the next man, get up. Most talk tough, but ain't no killers. To my little man, ain't no man realer. Cause Papa make sure that he always eat dinner. They shooting for the paper. He don't change for a little bit of change. Wave to them haters. Hi hater, mad they bitches love me like vibrators. Been sick since pushed through labor. Spent chips like I never ever planned for later. Stop worrying and counting the next man money. Fucking calculators.